Hello everyone, so back again with me, Amrina Rosyada here in my personal podcast video. So in today's topic, I want to talk about something I'm personally familiar with as a reader, manga versus American comics, especially on the platform called Webtoons. So I've read a lot of manga at Webtoons online, and even though I haven't used any other official apps besides Webtoon, I think it's still valid to compare them based on reading experience, art style, storytelling, and cultural influence. And remember, this is not about the platform, guys. It's about how these stories feel and how they are told. So first, for me, the reading experience is one of the biggest differences. Manga, even when I read it online, still follows the original book format. Like you have to swipe it right to left to right, or page by page. Since I don't really read physical manga books, so this experience sometimes feels unfamiliar and a bit awkward for me. Like I have to adjust my reading habits every time. But on the other hand, Webtoon feels much more natural to me, and the most Webtoons use a scroll down format. Scroll down, just like how you scroll down your phone. And even when they use panels, it doesn't feel as rigid as manga. And I think this format works better for digital readers like me who are used to scrolling on phones. And with that said, in terms of storytelling, both manga and webtoons can be very dense and complex. And from what I've read, mostly romance, please don't judge me. They usually involve many characters, especially side characters. And for example, like my experience on reading romance stories, it often keeps the main couple as the center, but the side characters still get their portion, their own stories, which is why both manga and the webtoon end up having volumes or seasons. And move on to the art style. This is where manga really stands out because it is usually black and white, as maybe some of you guys already know. And because of that, the focus goes heavily into the sketches, like facial expressions, line strokes, shading, and even texture. I feel like emotions come through very clearly because nothing distracts you from the drawing itself. And manga also tends to use many panels on one page, especially for conversations or emotional scenes. So everything feels very detailed and alive there, while webtoon feels so different. They're usually full color, and many authors use specific color palettes to create the mood or the vibe of the story. Instead of many small panels, webtoons often use large frames. Sometimes a single panel is just scenery with no characters, no dialogue at all on it. I think this works well for atmosphere, but it also makes webtoon feel slower in certain moments. And then when it comes to themes and genre, Manga and Webtoon, which are American comics, come from different traditions. Manga genre are often based on target audience, which affects how stories are written emotionally, and even in romance, which I read a lot. Manga usually focuses on inner feelings like slow emotional development and character growth rather than rushing the plot. Yes, and American comics or webtoon tend to use broader genre labels like fantasy, romance, science fiction, horror, or any other genre, aiming for wider appeal. And the stories often emphasize action, dramatic conflict, or even high concept ideas instead of emotional subtlety like manga. And this makes them exciting and easy to follow, but sometimes less intimate. Because of this, manga often feels more emotionally personal, while American comics feel more plot-driven. One invites readers to sit with emotions, while the other keeps the story moving forward. And it's a difference in storytelling prioritize rather than quality. And from my experience here, manga usually tells a story with a very clear direction and purpose. So most manga feel like they already know where the story is going, even from the early volumes. And even when there are many side characters or subplots, I still feel like the main storyline stays at the center. So everything eventually connects back to that main plot, which makes the story easier for me to follow and more satisfying emotionally, especially when I see how everything builds toward an ending. And here webtoon feel quite different to me into this from this aspect. Instead of moving forward, clear ending or to the point, the story often keeps expanding through new seasons, and it's including like side stories, flashbacks, and even additional conflicts. And I enjoy the world building, but sometimes it feels like the focus shifts too much from the original main story. So rather than following one clear path, I feel like I'm exploring the entire universe, which can be exciting but also a bit overwhelming as a reader. That's my personal opinion, guys. And the cultural influence plays a huge role in shaping how manga and webtoon American comics feel to me as a reader. So manga is deeply connected to Japanese social values, even when the stories are unrealistic. I often find it unrealistic. And I noticed themes like perseverance, emotional restraint, loyalty, and self-reflection, especially in romance and fantasy. Even when the situations there are exaggerated, the emotions still feel honest and grounded. But American comics, especially those adapted into webtoons, feel more heavy. It's heavily influenced by entertainment culture, similar to Hollywood. Yeah. There's a strong focus on power, on heroism and spectacle, and with this conflict constantly escalating and characters becoming more dominant over time. So personally, this doesn't really appeal to me as a reader because it feels distant from everyday emotional experiences. And from here, manga invites me to reflect on feelings and relationships also, whereas American comics focus more on visual impact and scale. Both have influence, but for me, manga connects on a much deeper level. So to take the point of this podcast video, for me, the comparison between manga and American comics isn't about which one is better, but about how differently they approach storytelling. And yeah, manga feels more focused and emotionally detailed, while webtoons feel expansive and visually immersive. And as a digital reader here, I personally lean toward webtoons for comfort. But still, I admire manga for its depth and consistency. So, which one I read a lot? Both, guys, both. So, yeah. In the end, both exist for different audiences and both clearly influence how we experience stories today. And I would like to know what you guys experience when reading this manga and webtoons. Maybe you want to share on the comments down below. And thank you so much for listening to my podcast. In this video, I hope you enjoy reading much manga and webtoon more in the future. Bye!